Hello, viewer. Welcome to today's episode of Women's View. I'm your host, Anne Moremi. Today is a lovely day, and today we're going to be talking about women in business. And I have with me in studio two lovely ladies. A little bit later, I'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. But I want to remind you that you can be able to interact with us as the show progresses. You can do so by SMS. The SMS line is 21144. But we're also on social media. Actually, we are transmitting live on Facebook, and the handle is GBS Kenya. Later on, we'll have this YouTube link ready, and you can also be able to go and check our YouTube handle, GBS TV Kenya, because the link will be there. So thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. And yeah, today we're talking about women in business. I'm joined in studio by two ladies who are in business. They have made the leap from self-employment into business, or they have just gone straight into business from the get-go. And it's such a great pleasure to have them with us today. I'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. I'll start with the one next to me, Karibu Sana. Yes.
Hello viewers, my name is Emanuela Abua. I am the founder of Tron Solution Services Africa Limited, which is a Pan-African company with the sole mission of developing and challenging people and businesses to achieve their full potentials.
Excellent. You're the perfect business to have, because I'm sure you're going to already start transforming some of us in studio, and also the viewer that is watching us today.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
I have another lady with me, Karibu Sana.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anne. My name is Caroline Wanjiku Kariuki. I am the founder and managing director of Glimblo Africa Limited. We are a company that is looking to make organic skincare affordable and readily available to the end consumer who doesn't have to have a lot of money. We want to make it affordable as it can be. At the same time, inspiring young people that it's never too early to start your own thing and get going. Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
It's good that you've said that, because when I look at both of you, you look so young. You know, a while back, people would like, tend to be employed for a while. And then just before they retire, or after being employed for over 10 years, is when they would be able to take the risk and start their own thing.
Yeah.
But here you are, you're in your 20s. I cannot tell, but I'm guessing. At least
Not
one
all
of
of
you.
us.
At least one of you I know is in her 20s. So
Yeah.
that's very early to start a business, you know.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations
Thank you so
for taking the
much.
leap.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
understand that it's tough out there in business.
It is.
But nevertheless, you have gone ahead and just done the thing that is challenging, and you're overcoming.
Yeah.
So before we get into the details of business, I want my viewer to learn a little bit about you.
Yeah.
So Carol, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up,
Yeah.
and how did you decide to be in business?
Okay, so I was born and raised in the country, in Nyeri.
Nyeri.
I've not been a town
Nyeri
girl.
County.
Yeah, Nyeri County.
Yes.
I was born and raised there. I went to school there. High school, went to a school still in Nyeri County. Then after Form 4, that is when I now came to Nairobi. I
Yes.
went to the Cooperative University of Kenya. I took my bachelor's in cooperatives and business. Yeah.
I know you're like whatever it was.
It's cooperatives and business. Yeah, so during which
Yes.
that period I was in campus, I think that is when the entrepreneurial instinct was kind of sparked or something.
Yes.
It was at that time I realized, oh, by the way, I think I've always loved beauty for a long time. I
Yes.
remember even back in the village doing my friends' hairs, in high school when they're going to functions or anything, I'll be the one to do the lines on the side, going
Yes.
home. So for a very long time, I loved the whole idea. Then after Form 4, I remember after I finished my exam, after I came to Nairobi, I really wanted to go to beauty school.
Okay.
I went shortly, but then it became difficult. We couldn't keep affording it. The fees was expensive. So
okay.
I left and got my first job, but I still didn't lose the
interest.
interest did
Yes.
go. So after I joined campus, I remember my first semester, I started doing people's hair.
Look at
my
that.
roommate. Yeah, I
It
know.
refused to let go.
It refused. I started doing people's hairs, and
Yes.
I would just charge a small fee.
Yes.
With time, before I even knew it, I was like not even in campus. You see this campus kind of life where you leave class, go watch a movie.
I know that relaxed and very, or you go party, you know.
I missed that because I was always so busy doing people's hair. At some point, the makeup craze came. I started learning how to do makeup, self-taught, everything self-taught. So I would do people's makeup for at a very small fee, but it was business. I was in business, by the
Yes,
way.
you were in business.
I would never ask. And also something else that maybe pushed me is the nature of my nature. My nature is not asking. I really don't know how to borrow money. So I was really pushed to just, if whatever you have is not enough and you want something extra, you have to find it for yourself.
Exactly,
So,
because when you're in campus, generally you tend to ask either the person who is sponsoring
Yeah.
you, whether it be your parents or
Yeah.
an organization.
yeah,
You know?
they give you, of course, they know they're in charge of you and they
Yes.
give you something, but then you have to go an extra mile for the extra finer things that you want.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so I did that, and until now, when I was around at my second year, I started doing furniture sales. I was doing
Wow.
sales.
Allow me to interrupt you.
Yes.
Because you're already going into your second business.
Yeah, already.
Let's talk to Emanuela. Emanuela, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you grew up, where you studied, and at what point you realized that you had to get into business.
Into business. Okay. Thank you, Anne. I was born and raised in Cote d'Ivoire, that is in West Africa. And I came to Kenya in 2002.
Yes.
And from there, I went to Australia to study, where I got my degree in business administration.
Okay.
Eventually, also got my MBA because I was really passionate about businesses.
Yes.
I always knew from the ongoing that I was going to get into business.
Yes.
But I knew as well that I did not have the resources. So
Yes,
for me, it meant getting a job, being able to also build my capacity to make sure that I end up having a business that lasts.
Exactly.
That was paramount to me.
All right. So, so initially you were employed to raise capital.
Yes,
sort
yes,
of
that's
on the
what
side.
that's exactly what I decided to do.
Yes.
Get a job. I was employed, and I think it was around 2010 when I decided to make a change in my life and get into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So I had a discussion with my boss. We talked about it, and by God's grace, and I thank God for him. He's still my mentor up to now.
Wow, that's awesome.
He supported me. He mentored me. He built my capacity. Today, we are in 14 African countries, and it is definitely because of him.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing.
That
I mean,
was amazing.
shout out to him because a lot of
He
times
knows. Hi, Edwin.
he knows, right? When you share your dream with somebody and you are working for them, already I can imagine that you are a valued staff member, member of the team, and they're already panicking because they're like, oh my God, we're going to lose you. But here he was able to encourage you.
He did.
And for the fact that you're in 14 African countries and the fact that he's still your mentor goes to show that indeed, I don't know whether it's serendipity or what, but it's great that you got to work for him, right?
Yes, I did. I did, and it was a
wow.
blessing.
Okay.
So we started off, and the easiest way for me to enter at that time into entrepreneurship was to look at my skill. What
Yeah.
was I good at?
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that I don't just follow the trends,
Yes.
because trends eventually tend to disappear.
And they change.
Exactly, they also change. So
Yes.
what was I good at?
Okay.
And being bilingual, because I speak French and English,
Uh-huh.
I realized that at that time there was a number of changes also happening in Kenya.
Okay.
There was a Vision 2030 that
Yes.
the government used to speak about. And immediately I understood that this was going to be a big opportunity because many foreigners will come into the country.
Yes.
Many foreigners will want to invest. So why not again start off a translation and interpretation service company?
Excellent.
So that is exactly what I did for a number of years. And we still provide translation and interpretation, but we diversified our services with time. So one of the things that I'm very passionate about is talking to young people.
Okay.
I have always been passionate about that. So I will go to schools and have discussions to young people about life, about understanding themselves, identifying their personality traits,
Yes.
how is it that personality will impact your career choice
Okay.
and your growth in life.
Yes.
And I saw that they were very interested. Parents used to come back to me and say, but I think you've transformed my kid. And I said, really, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I added it, I ended up adding it again into our services and went back to university to get a degree in psychology, and currently I'm doing a second master in psychology.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are amazing, both of you. And
Thank
already
you.
sitting here, because I want your business experience to inspire the viewer. I can already hear that there's this question that always comes. how do I know which business to get into? Maybe I don't have a job, I'm not employed, or I'm in a job that I'm not enjoying. How do I decide which business to get into? And already I've picked up that number one, go with your passion.
Yeah.
What is it that you find comes so easily for you to do, and you just find yourself doing it? You know, then you can transform your passion or your hobby into your business. And I think that you've been able to do that, Carol.
Yeah.
And when I listen to you, Emmanuel, I can already hear, look at your skills. What are you good at? Look at the fact that you already could speak 2 languages. A lot of times people don't think that that's a big deal. But you're able to look at the fact that you can speak 2 languages and then make a business out of it. And then again, you looked at your passion, you know, talking to the youth and telling them how they can, how their personality can, what kind of careers they can fit into, something that you're passionate about. So, you know, that already helps my viewer know that look at your passion, look at your skills. Those 2 will inform what business you can get into. Because sometimes you find people who are doing the business that is wrong for them. And what will happen is you'll get tired. You know, you lose a psyche to go to wake up every morning, you know. And I'm sure as we talk on, you're going to tell us, both of you, that sometimes we face challenges.
Absolutely.
And you want to maybe wrap up, like call it, it's over, it's been real, you know. But I'm happy that you're still, go, no problem. Please.
I just wanted to add on to the point that you've mentioned right now.
Yes.
Yes, if someone would like to get into business, highlighting your strengths and your weaknesses are very important, and your passion.
Okay.
Your weakness is why, because then you can see the shortcoming and what you can do to change these weaknesses into strength.
Okay.
You know? But if there are some people who like taking a higher risk,
Yes.
we are in an era that is technology driven.
That's true.
And most women, I say most, not all, most women are not really, don't have the actual skills when it comes to technology. So if you see an opportunity, for example, in that field, and you don't have the skill, then partner with someone
who's got the skill.
Exactly. That should not limit you, not only looking at your passion, but also partnership to be able as well to put up a business. Yes.
And that's very helpful because of collaboration.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times in business, you cannot be everything.
Yeah.
In fact, I want us to talk about that, you know.
Yeah.
But I also want to zero in a little bit on your experience, Carol.
Yeah.
We've got these products already
Yeah.
on the table that you are manufacturing. You know, manufacturing is big in Kenya. It's one of the big 4 priorities of the government.
Yeah.
And to see such a young person already doing that, that is already very encouraging.
Thank you.
So how did you decide that? How did you start? You didn't study chemistry?
Yeah,
you didn't
I
study
did.
manufacturing?
Yeah, nothing. So
Which are weaknesses? I'm just following up.
yeah,
How did
yeah,
you bridge
which
those
are-
2 gaps? Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened, so fast forward, okay, let's go back a little bit.
Yes.
I was telling you of how I went into the furniture business.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so I was doing sales and getting paid on commission for every sale I made.
Okay.
And then with a little bit of
With the
savings.
furniture company?
Yeah,
Okay.
with a little bit of savings, I was able to now have my own. I discussed with the owner of the business. We discussed and agreed I will put in some money, make some items we can call my own in a kind of an own arrangement. And then when they are sold, we kind of share
The proceeds.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So did that for a bit, for a while, and then within that time, I got another job. Now unemployment, I got into employment for a short contract. And when I was in the office, I used to get so many calls by customers, calls, and I felt like it was affecting how I was doing in the office.
Yes.
So I kind of stopped doing that so much and concentrated on my job at that time.
Okay.
So the furniture business kind of stalled a bit.
Yes.
After some time, when I came to the idea of the skincare product, I got my first baby after, changes of the body. There was stretch marks, and I think I was so self-conscious because I felt like they were really getting to me, and I was on research all the time. How can I do away with this? Yeah, how do I
get stop them from coming?
Yeah, so I learned all these things, moisturizing or skin elasticity, through my own research. And then I made my very first product in my house, bought this, bought that, and mixed. And it worked. It started working. It started working. Then I thought, Yani, all these women with kids out here, they must be going
need to know
through
this about this product.
They must be going through this.
Yes.
So that was the light bulb boom moment. I was like, this could be a business. Now I started looking at it as an opportunity and trying to just see how can it work.
Yeah.
So
And right there, you give another way to discover what business you can be in.
Yeah.
Look at the challenges or the problem that is affecting you that you want to solve.
yeah,
And you know, sometimes we tend to undermine those things, honestly. Who would ever think that stretch marks that are affecting you could
Yeah.
make you develop a product
I know.
to deal with that problem, and
Yeah.
then after that, you know, scale.
You find out.
And let me tell you, I mean, cosmetology, that is a $1 billion industry. Women do
is.
not want stretch marks.
Yeah.
Have you found a solution for, what is it called? Something that bothers women a lot. It's called, I'm forgetting the name right now.
There's cellulite.
Yes, that is it.
There's cellulite.
Cellulite.
Yes, yes, yes. We have a solution.
doing-
Yes,
you do?
only that the product is not yet
Oh,
out.
wow,
but
good for
yes,
you.
yes, it's there.
Oh, I was just throwing out there randomly, and I'm happy that it's a problem for many women,
Yeah,
including
it
you.
is. It
Yeah.
is. So I started now looking at it as an opportunity and looking for ways where you can now actually have a product that is acceptable. So research, what do I want to have in my product? I already knew what was working for me.
Yeah.
So I had to look for people who now, as Emanuela was saying, people
Yes.
who know. As I had to look for a biochemist who's well versed in this.
That's right.
Yeah, tell them this is what I want to have in the product. Is it all right?
Yes.
How do I mix it so I don't come up
The
with concussions?
quantities,
Yeah, the quantities.
reactions, side
yeah,
effects, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Or which was a bit easy because everything is natural. It was
Okay.
not so much of a big deal.
Okay.
But at least there was professional advice there. So as I was even going to the Kenya Bureau of Standards, I was a bit confident in my product.
Yes.
Yeah, so went to the Kenya Bureau, it's passed, came up with, started thinking where do I get packaging, went through that, it was a difficult phase, went through that, got the packaging, did the branding, and yeah, we started selling online. That was like last year, last year,
Okay.
yeah.
Emanuela, tell us a little bit about when you decided to form your company, business registration, and just that process of starting up.
Okay.
You know, it tends to be quite challenging in terms of getting all the documentation, getting the people to come and help you, doing the business search, all that. Was that something, how did you decide the name of the company, you know?
Okay, the name was easy because, as I mentioned, when we started off, it was just translation services.
Yes.
So translation, I thought, well, why don't I add the trans and think about the solution? I thought about solution in my head.
Yes.
Like we are helping individuals and businesses maximize global opportunity. So even if you're in Kenya and you would like to do your business abroad, and language, for example, is a challenge, you don't have to think about what am I going to do or stop yourself, but you can use us to enter into this market.
Yes.
So it's like we are providing actually a solution.
Yes.
So that's how the name came,
Trans solution, like translate.
and then solution.
And you know, initially when I first saw the name, I thought it was transform. You are in the transformation.
we do,
So, but it was actually initially from translate.
From translate, exactly.
Ah, translation.
And then, of course,
Okay.
when time went by and we expanded our services, everything was basically based on solution, providing
Yeah, of
solutions. So
course.
there was no point of changing the name.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's
And,
how the name started off.
Yeah, that's how the name started off. And I like the name. The name itself is very professional.
Thank you.
Same as yours, Caroline.
Oh,
Your name
thank
is very
you.
professional. A lot of people tend to make their business names a little interesting, especially in Kenya. I don't know whether that's the same situation in Cote d'Ivoire, where you just look at your name, Anne-Morimi, then you decide it's going to be Amu.
Amu.
I mean, so I'm so happy to hear that for you, you looked at what you're providing, because that sounds very professional. So I encourage also people to, if you're going to do something, think global.
Yeah.
You know, even when you're describing yourself, you said you're a Pan-African business.
Yes, we are.
When you started, did you actually know that you were going to venture into, you said you're in 14 countries
Yes,
now.
yes.
How has it been as you keep adding one country into?
We do it through research. We don't just enter a market for the sake of it.
Yes.
We have done quite a number of researches in terms of what is the economic growth for the country, what is the need of the country,
Yes.
how is it that other organizations are able to respond to those needs.
Yes.
So that basically gives me more information about the competition.
Okay.
Okay. So after we make this research, we do the researches, and now we are able to enter into the market. So we've entered in two ways. In some countries, like in Rwanda, we've set up translation services, we've employed local staff, the same as in Kenya.
Yes.
But in Nigeria, because of how different the market is, we've entered through partnership.
Okay.
So it depends on various elements that we
Yeah.
are able to make certain decisions.
So sometimes you have to partner,
Yes.
and especially when it comes to things like even language barrier.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
you might find that you go into a country where they don't speak English, neither do they speak French. So to penetrate, you need to collaborate.
And to get also insight into the market.
Yes.
Because there is two things when you get into a country. There is what people want to show you,
Yes.
but it's not the reality.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up investing and wondering, why aren't you getting any return on investment?
Yes.
You know. And so there is the second thing, as when you go into partnership, people are able to tell you, these are the challenges, this is how you can handle it. So it makes it very easy.
And especially people who are from within that country.
Absolutely.
And you've talked about partnerships. Huh? A lot of times, people getting into business tend to be afraid of partnerships.
Yeah.
Have you been in a situation, Carol, where you get into a partnership and the partnership didn't work? Because you say that when you're doing the furniture business,
Yeah.
you had a discussion with the person who you had employed you, and you came into an agreement.
Yeah.
Did that situation, did that business structure
Yeah.
last?
Oh yeah. I've been lucky. Yeah, mine worked out.
Okay.
Actually, it's good because I am very busy with this, and so I went back to it. I still do it, and I am not able to be there a lot of times, and it still works for me. The arrangement works for me.
Okay.
So I think I've been lucky. But I know of situations where it can get difficult. I have spoken with other entrepreneurs, and partnership, actually one of my friends told me a partnership is like a marriage. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I've been lucky, but I think I know it can be hard.
Okay.
It can be difficult.
Emanuela, especially you who is doing especially international business, what is is it useful? A lot of people tend to want to discuss and leave it at that, thinking that they have agreed. Is that how you do your business, or do you back it up with contracts that are airtight? And do you have a lawyer on board that has to go through them? How do you manage those expectations?
Contracts. I don't undermine my business. You
Yes.
know why? Because just to go back again into one of the points that you made about the name and all, it's the vision that you would like to achieve.
Yes.
What is the vision that you have? Because it's easy to start off a business, have it for 3 or 4 years, and decide to set it up.
Yeah.
But if you want to last, if you want an organization that will stand the test of time, like Coca-Cola,
Yes.
then you need to think very far.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is the approach I used when I started my business. And so everything that we did in terms of structure and strategies is to be able to fit into the vision.
Yes.
So everything that we do has to be legally bounded.
Exactly. And
It's-
that's important.
yeah.
Because a lot of times you find, I've talked to people who, they go into business, sometimes it's with a friend, with a family member, or with somebody they met and they are passionate about the same thing. But then they don't back up their arrangement, their passion with contracts. And so shortly after, things start going haywire and they have no backup. So I'm very happy that you've actually given that advice, because I'm sure there are times when you've had to rely on contracts either to exit.
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
to- yeah.
Absolutely. First, I don't enter into any type of partnership for the sake of it. So I research, as I indicated,
Yes.
and I also have to make sure that we share similar values.
Yes.
That is very key.
Values.
So
yes.
even in the way that you treat your staff, in terms of where you want to go, we need to have similar values, because
Yes.
then we are able to speak the same language,
That's right.
which is very important. So after that, then we put a partnership, we put an agreement on it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we need to take a short break now.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back. So viewer, keep it here. We shall continue to talk about women in business. Thank you.
Merani dunia. Kashibuda maji nimekuwa na heartbreak.
Oh no! This is Art Club, which comes to you every Wednesday and Thursday as from 8:30 to 9 p.m. Never miss, never.
Oh no!
Elijah.
I'm a young baller. Every
Hello, viewer. The woman is burdened with so much, such that they don't have time for themselves.
If you don't go after what you want, there's going to be hurt, there's going to be disappointment, there's going to be regret, there's going to be let down.
I love people.
People will always have a view. They will always have an opinion.
Whether you like it or not,
It's always there.
people will put you in a shame box.
You have to love yourself first.
I'm not that person.
It should come from deep conviction, and I'm talking about conviction. I'm not talking about emotional giving.
Then that should pose a big problem.
A man won't handle that. They will just run.
Families break. Marriages don't exist anymore.
There's so many people out there pretending like they don't have the problem. pretending like their relationship is not on the rock.
What was that?
That's nonsense.
Get lost. No, no, no. I think that is wrong.
Go ahead, tell me. I'm waiting.
Who questions you?
We're moving on swiftly.
Moving on swiftly, right?
It's pleasurable.
No one gets there without trials.
Yeah, you've got to.
It's the way life is.
Your greatest ability is possibility.
Welcome back, viewer. Today we're talking about women in business. We're looking at how our guests were able to transition from employment or from lack of a job into business, the kind of challenges that they have faced and how they have overcome those challenges, and also just the kind of thought process that they went through as they were thinking about what business to start and what to name their business. And it's really very helpful information, and I know that a lot more is coming. Yeah. So you told us about how you came up with the name, Trans Solution. Carol, tell us, what is the name of your company? How did you decide on that name?
Yeah, mine is Glimglow Africa Limited. I wanted just people to have skins that are glowing and gleaming.
And when I look at yours, you know, you're marketing the products, but it's gleaming and glowing.
I look the part.
Yes, you look the part,
Thank
and I like
you.
that. You're both
Thank
very, you have an African focus, you know, Glimglow Africa, Trans Solution, already a Pan-African company. So it's like in your mindset, you're not just limited to Kenya. You know that your products and your services are going to transcend the boundaries of this country.
Amen.
So that is fantastic.
Yeah.
What is the reception that you've received from Kenyan companies, maybe retailers, when you tell them about your product?
Okay, it's both ways. Some people are so receptive. They're like, oh, this is a new product. I've not seen it. Let me try. And once they try and see it's nice, I've had a couple of people tell me, leave me the sample. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
And they actually do that. On the flip side, there are others who are like, this is a very new product. I've never seen it. Could you maybe advertise on TV? And then after people see it out there, maybe we can try. And that time, do you know how much a TV
your budget for
commercial
marketing
goes for? I
your
know.
budget for marketing,
It's
you know
very
the
narrow.
amount.
I know.
And you're like, no,
someone
no,
is
no,
telling
no.
you, I'd put it on the paper. Now, after people see, then maybe we can. Others tell you, we don't take local. We only love imported.
Very sad, really,
which
because
is very
we are
sad.
all about buying Kenya, building Kenya.
Yeah, you know, you want a product which you can't even read the list of ingredients.
Yeah,
you can't even
because
pronounce.
you can't pronounce.
You can't even pronounce,
Yes.
and that is what you want to put on your skin. You can't even say it, but you so comfortably put it on your skin every day religiously. It is
I know, because
sad.
it's a European name, it's a French name.
Yeah, you're very comfortable. But because we also do individual online sales, those ones have been okay. We have customers who came since day one and they keep coming back. So it encourages us, and we know for sure we have a good product. Yes.
So you're actually using a lot of online marketing for your products?
Yes, because it is accessible. It's not as expensive. You just need bundles and access to the internet, and you can put your product out there.
And it's amazing at how much, I'm amazed at how much online marketing and online sales, it works a
It's
lot.
huge. It's huge.
It's actually quite a huge market, unregulated sometimes, just free for you to just go in there and get everybody.
Yeah.
So what is your Facebook page or your Instagram page?
Yeah, so I have the product name for this particular one is Anova Naturals on social, both on Facebook and Instagram. Yes.
Anova Naturals.
Yes, Anova Naturals.
Okay.
Yes. We didn't want to call it the name of the company because we look to have so many other products in future. Yeah. Yes.
I like the name. So that's like the holding name.
Yeah.
And you see, even the fact that you have a holding name, then you have the names of different products. Very professional, very structured.
Thank you.
Yeah. Does online marketing work for you, Emanuela? Or you prefer, or your approach, is your approach different?
We do advertise, we do market our services through the online platform.
Yes.
But the results are very different, you know, from a product-based and a service company.
Yes.
Because when people think about it, when you go to, have you ever made any purchase using Alibaba?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So normally when you go to Alibaba, the first thing that you do is having your credit card, because you know that you're about to make a purchase.
Yes.
But when you go to Facebook or Instagram, you don't have your credit cards, because
there,
you go
that's
for
true.
communication, for information, and not necessarily to make a purchase.
That's right.
And we feel it more in the service industry,
Yes.
where people look at it, they comment, they follow up through calls, through emails. But our customers normally come from word of mouth.
Yeah, referral.
Yes, referral.
Yeah, because you see, if you're offering a service, it's more when it changes your life, then you can be able to talk about,
it,
or when it
exactly.
impacts your life.
Exactly.
If you are having a conference and you do a translation, or if you've told us a little bit about translation, but when you talk about like speaking to the youth, in what forums do you meet them? You said high schools?
Yes. High school, university, we have specific program for young people between the ages of 14 to 20.
Okay.
So formally, we do them in the universities, in the school.
Okay.
But informally, we also have platforms, events rather, that happen in our offices.
Okay.
Why? Because we've realized that when we were going into the schools, some students had a lot of concern, but they couldn't air it in front of the teachers.
Yes.
So they needed it to be a bit, to be in a safe haven.
That's right.
And that is when now I put up an office with enough space where they can come and be trained and open up
Yes.
without feeling judged.
Exactly. And that's good, because you know, if you want to transform their lives, they must be comfortable. The environment
Exactly.
must be comfortable. And you know, when you look at society, we're having a lot of high school students having a lot of challenges. And so the fact that you have a program tailored for them, it's amazing, because your clients are their parents.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's the schools who invite you, or the universities.
Yes.
Or do you find students bringing themselves to you, like intentionally, or is it always that they have been referred to you by the institution, by their parents? How does it work?
95% is through referral.
Okay.
And once they are comfortable with the services and they begin to trust me, because at the service, they need to also have some trust.
Yeah.
Then they start referring. So we don't have a student coming up to us and asking for questions. Why? Because first of all, the environment doesn't allow. You know, when you think about the school, they don't have the phones, they don't use internet as often, or they use it for homework.
Yes.
So they are not well exposed to be able to communicate to us directly.
Yes.
So we pass through the school and the parents.
Okay. And I'm happy that you have actually reskilled for that, because you mentioned that you've done a degree in psychology.
Yes.
And now you're doing a second master's in psychology.
Yes.
Because what you're talking about sounds very to do with psychology.
Yeah,
and because you did have that skill, you have reskilled.
Yes.
And that's another thing that I want my viewer to know. You know, you can go into a field and then you find that you're so passionate about it. Consider investing in yourself for it.
Absolutely.
So that you can be more relevant to your business. Because, you know, you can imagine if you had to hire psychologists every time, you know, it becomes a drain, and it's becoming one of your main core businesses. So you can actually reskill.
Yeah.
So back to Carol.
Yeah.
You know, manufacturing to me, honestly, it feels quite a huge challenge. How was the process? The first time that you tried, was it successful, or you tried, you had a product, then it didn't work, then you tried again, changed the ingredients and all that?
You know, when I was doing it like in my concussions in the bathroom, just mixing, you know, those ones I am just putting on myself and they look like they're working. Then when it gets to be a commercial product, you have to look for, they tell you, is the product stable? Like if it gets too hot, then it suddenly gets so cold. Is it still gonna be okay? So some of those things at first, they were backfiring.
Yes.
Yeah, you do something, tomorrow you smell it, it looks different.
You like, yesterday it was smelling so
yesterday it
nice,
was so
today.
nice. Yeah. So yeah, those stages are there in the very first times. But what you were saying, when you outsource, when you have someone who's knowledgeable in the field, they'll tell you that's the pH. That's a problem with pH.
Yeah.
Maybe this ingredient you might have maybe overstepped, and you rectify, and it works. So at first then with time it keeps getting better. And I'm encouraged. There's a quote I read somewhere that says, if you really don't hate where you started, then you started too late. Yeah, so I am well. It is well. Yeah.
And you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep improving.
Yeah, you do.
Are there women that you're mentoring, Emanuela, as you grow in business? Because for you are in a position where a lot of women can benefit just from your experience. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is paramount.
Yes.
In my strategy, yes. I normally divide my connection in two parts.
Okay.
The one that are above me,
yes,
who I can learn from.
Yes.
So these are the people who have made good strike in the businesses. And when I speak to them, they normally have businesses that have a revenue of about 10 millions, which is very far from what I have. You know. And then I have those that are below me.
Okay.
So women and men alike, because I believe that to grow as a society, we need to invest in both.
Yes.
So who I mentor through a variety of services, and depending again on the industry and on the vision, exactly.
Okay, okay. It's very important, to be able to carry others with you as you grow along,
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the challenges that you're currently facing that you would need to, that maybe you've either overcome them or you're still stuck and you're wondering how to go about it.
Yeah.
You know, you might be having a viewer who just by listening would be able to offer that kind of a solution to you.
Very true. So the biggest right now is the economic times right now are kind of hard.
Yes.
And when people don't have money, everything they view as luxurious is on the side. So
Gets
someone will not
cut off the list of shopping.
Yeah, someone will not want, I want a new sofa right now. You know, they feel like that is luxury.
Yes.
They'd rather have food and get their bills paid first.
Exactly.
When it comes, if it's in this business of lotions, some will be like, this is a natural lotion. So our price range, it's not a lot, by the way. It's from 300 to 450. Very
fair.
affordable,
Yes.
very fair. But at the same time, there's another lotion going for 90 bob.
I know.
So you'll be like, man, I'd rather.
Based on my
Based
cash
on my
flow
budget.
right now.
Yeah, I know, thank you, the product is nice, but mfuko imekataa. So that is the biggest right now. People are not buying because there's no money.
Okay.
Also, there is staff, because staffing is a challenge also.
Yes.
Because with time, you start to feel like everything is becoming so much. You need help.
Yes.
I still haven't wanted to put myself in a position where I have permanent staff.
Okay.
So I prefer to hire someone when I need their service.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And getting people who are aligned to your vision and whatever you're looking for, it is a challenge.
Yeah,
it is a challenge.
yes.
Because the way when you wake up and if you're marketing, you do it based on the vision you have for this business.
Yes.
If you hire someone, they're not seeing it. They don't even see it. They might try and they're unable to.
I know.
So
They're not a good
getting
fit.
people who feel you, and when you tell them this is how I want, when you get a customer, speak to them starting from this point then to the next. It's difficult.
Yeah,
it is difficult.
yeah.
It is very difficult. The other one is manufacturing. That means I am using raw materials,
Yes.
which are so much is not found locally. I don't know what the problem is. I only came
What are
to
some of the products you use? Like I've seen it. Coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
That one is easily available.
Yeah, that one is at least. Shea butter, cocoa butter.
Shea butter, you've got to import it,
You
right?
have to
From,
import.
Is it Ghana?
Ghana or Uganda.
Ah,
And then importing is expensive. And
That's
then
true.
I'm still not so well
Duty.
versed. How do, now where am I even starting?
Yes.
So you have to buy from people who are bringing in bulk, and then you buy smaller portions, which tends to be expensive and cuts on your margins.
Yes.
So it is a challenge.
Yeah,
And also now penetrating the market. I told you, you're told that if you would put it on a TV commercial, you know, it would be better.
If people can come asking for it first.
Yeah,
yes,
it would be
yes.
better. So that's a challenge. Before you convince someone it's a good product, trust me, if the customer gets it once, they'll come back again. Before you get to that point of making someone understand.
That first sale is the critical one for you, because once they use your product, they will come back.
They keep coming back.
Yeah.
So that first sale, it is quite a challenge.
Yes.
It is. And also, sometimes things get so difficult and you're like, you know what? If right now someone offers me a job,
I'm wrapping up.
ASAP.
You know?
It is also a challenge, but as we were discussing earlier, if you go into something that you love and you're passionate about and have a clear vision, those times will come, but due to that, what you feel
That
inside
drive,
for your business, the drive, you'll be able to overcome. You will sail through.
Okay. So if you're in a business and that happens, don't think it's a big deal. It is normal. It's a season that will come and it will go. So you just need to ride the wave, basically.
Yeah, and those are some of the benefits I've reaped from being like in networks like Women in Business.
Yes.
You meet with entrepreneurs like Emanuela here. We were just speaking before the interview and she was telling me, you know what? I also feel like that. There's actually a day I just covered up and watched Netflix the whole day. I was like, wow.
I'm not going to work today. It's okay. Forget it.
Yeah, because you don't want to just get out of the door and meet people because things are tough, things are difficult. People have expectations. They know you have a job, you need to be helping, and you're not in a position to. It is difficult.
There are such days, and
yeah,
you know, if they come, you take them in stride, and then you move on.
Yeah.
Emanuela, are the challenges you face similar, or do you find that when you're dealing with a service, provision of a service, is it different?
More or less similar.
Okay.
When she talked about the economic challenge, this is something that we all experience. And in addition to what she mentioned, one of the things that I noticed is not that people don't want to pay, is that you have to make them understand the reason why they should purchase either your product or your service.
Okay.
And even for services, let's say an organization decided to put a tender, and then there is Emanuela who comes in with Transolution Services, and company X with a male at the head. We have basically the same qualification. We provide the same type of services. But when it comes to the negotiation now, they are more likely to give him a better remuneration than me.
Yeah, you find that?
Because of the male, because he's a male and I'm a woman.
Yeah.
So there is still this challenge when it comes to the economic perspective, that male are seen to have better capacity, they are seen to have better skills than women. So the way I tried to reduce that was to invest in me. I invest heavily in myself. In terms of my knowledge, in terms of my experience, so that I have an upper hand. Another way that I was able to deal with that is by expanding. Yes, we have a global recession happening right now, but the challenges vary from country to country. So for example, right now in Kenya, it's very difficult for someone to want to invest in themselves.
That's true.
But in Rwanda, for example, people are actually looking for organizations who can build the capacity. So when it's like that, then I'm able to disperse, diversify, being able to deal with my income. The other challenge I experience is societal challenge, in the sense of people accept women in business to behave a certain way, you know, to be softer in their approach, to be kinder in the words, which, well, like I said, I come from West Africa. It's very different for my personality.
Your upbringing is not like that.
No,
you know, you're aggressive and
we are
go-getter.
Exactly, we're go-getters. And of course, as well, still under the societal challenge is us as parents.
Exactly. I was you've already brought that out. That's work-life balance. You know,
work-life balance, which is a bit challenging. As I had mentioned to you, I am married and I have 4 kids. And the firstborn is 10, 9, 4, and then the lastborn is almost 3 years old. So they're at the age where they still need
they're demanding a lot of your time.
So for example, I'll give you an example. I have been away for the past 3 weeks. I came last week, and I was meant to travel to Rwanda on Monday. But I was really exhausted. You know, so on Saturday, my son, who is about 4 years old, asked me, "Mommy, can we play?" Usually I play with him. I've never had any challenge. I'm able to balance my life quite well. Play around, we go on the floor and all. But that Saturday I was really exhausted. I was completely exhausted, and I told him, "You know what, Emmanuel, his name is Emmanuel, Mommy's tired."
Mommy's tired. Mommy needs to rest a little.
She needs to. Then he made a comment that broke me. He said, "This year, you've been traveling a lot, and when you are here, you are always tired." So I call my client and I cancel the trip then and there. Because no matter what, my family is still my priority. You see, these are the kind of challenges that men don't experience. They don't ask the same thing to my husband.
But the way that they will respond to that question is different. Maybe for us it becomes a bit emotional.
I think the pressure for them is little.
I don't know. And I don't want to interrupt you.
It is little.
I'll
tell you why.
Go on,
I always make sure I come home at a certain time to do the homework with my kids and all. My husband is not around. But the day I come late, I will start being questioned. Where have you been, Mommy? Where did you go?
I know. Are you going? Are you going to leave when you come?
Where? But when the dad comes early, the question is, why are you here early? You know?
Like, what's up? Something is amiss.
Absolutely. And yet at that age, they were able to tell. So it's part of our society.
It is part of our society. And also it's the way the children, for some strange reason, that's how they view it. Like, if dad is home early, why? If mom is home late, why? You know,
because
mom should
of our
be home.
culture.
I know, Both of us are working.
Because of our culture, because we've allowed it. That's the
Yeah.
thing, we've allowed it.
allowed
If you go to Europe, it's not the same case. You know, the husband go and cook, they clean.
Yeah.
So the expectation there would be very different.
Yes.
In Africa, we've allowed that.
We have allowed
We've
it,
allowed
and
it.
now that now that a lot of women are, we are working and full-time jobs that are very demanding, we are like now suffering from that, right?
We are, and that's why organizations such as Women in Business help. Because now you sit down with other women who are also go-getters,
Exactly.
but who are also parents. So you share, and then you are able to give each other's business, but at the same time being able to have a vivid mind. Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? That's one of the things that I like about employment, that you are the decision maker. You know, you could pick the call and tell your client, it can't work this time, maybe you rescheduled or whatever. You see, sometimes when you're employed and that question comes, you can't call your boss and tell them, I'm not coming tomorrow. You know, you've got to just go working. So in a way, I think one of the ways that work-life balance can be achieved for women is when you are self-employed or when you're your own boss, you know. So we need to take a break. So viewer, keep it here. Thank you so much.
Buda maji nimekuwa na heartbreak.
Oh no! This is Art Club, which comes to you every Wednesday and Thursday as from 8:30 to 9 p.m. Never miss, never.
Oh no!
Elijah.
I'm a young baller.
Hello, viewer. The woman is burdened with so much, such that they don't have time for themselves.
If you don't go after what you want, there's going to be hurt, there's going to be disappointment, there's going to be regret, there's going to be let down.
I love people.
People will always have a view. They will always have an opinion.
Whether you like it or not.
It's always there.
People will put you in a shame box.
You have to love yourself first.
I'm not that person.
It should come from deep conviction, and I'm talking about conviction. I'm not talking about emotional giving.
Then that should pose a big problem.
A man won't handle that. They will just run. Families break. Marriages don't exist anymore.
There's so many people out there pretending like they don't have the problem, pretending like their relationship is not on the rock.
What was that?
That's nonsense.
Get lost.
No. I think that is wrong.
Go ahead, tell me. I'm waiting.
Who questions you?
We're moving on swiftly.
Moving on swiftly, right?
It's pleasurable.
Yeah, that's
No one
correct.
gets there without trials.
Yeah, you've got to.
It's the way life is.
Your greatest ability is possibility.
Hello, viewer. Welcome to
Chungu Jajami.
My name is Tigist Hailu.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ruben West.
I'm Dr. Charles Mukuka.
From the United States of America.
I come from Ethiopia.
From Zambia.
I love Kenya very much.
I love the Kenyan people.
Love is not by confession. Love is by action.
Come on now.
When you are a husband, you are not a husband.
It's very important.
You can count the seeds in an apple, but you can never count the number of apples in a seed.
Her phone is her phone. My phone is my phone.
You only know what you know.
Who forced you?
The more you spend time together, the more stronger you will.
A woman is like a Bible.
Could tell me that they were born and it wasn't from a female, I'd like to know.
A woman, she's a good asset. And a woman, she's a very, very good investment.
When you're up, your family knows who you are. But when you're down, you'll figure out who your family is.
Thank you so much.
Everywhere. Yes.
Welcome back, viewer. Thank you so much for your question. We have a lady who's asking, Sylvia is asking, she's saying that she's learning a lot. She's currently employed, but is wondering how to transition from her employment into her business. Emanuela, tell us how you made the transition, because at some point did you just wake up and leave, or how did you manage the transition?
I know I planned myself. As I indicated earlier, I was still employed when I started off my business.
Yes.
But I used to really maximize on my time, the time after work.
Okay.
So from 6 p.m. to probably, because I normally sleep late, to 1 a.m.
Yes.
So what did I used to do? I used to plan myself, market more, read more, advertise my product, my service rather, think about partnership, just anything that I felt will help me propel my business further.
Yes.
So there was no time for Netflix at that period
I
of time.
know. Yeah, or
Because-
social life
yes,
sometimes. Yeah,
no
it took a
social life,
beating.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you commit, you just know that it's just for a specific period of time, and that you have to be committed and engaged fully.
Yes.
So that was very clear to me. And after probably 2 years, that is when I started
2
making-
years of that.
Yes, I did.
And
that
you know,
for
it's like
2 years.
2 years of having 2 full-time jobs.
Yes,
You work
absolutely.
and then
Yes.
you leave, come home and work again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what I did after the second year was now to employ one staff
Ah, okay.
to assist me, because it became very difficult to manage.
Yes.
So she could work and I could also continue with my full-time employment. Why? Because to be honest, I was a bit scared as well to leave my job.
Because of the pay, right?
Because of the pay and because I'm a parent.
Yes.
You know, it's not all about me anymore.
That's
I had
true.
to take care of my kids.
Okay.
And I think it was after 2.5 years when I started making more money from my business than the salary that I was earning.
Really? That happened for you?
Yes. When I
That
decided
is
to leave.
amazing.
I know.
Because you see, a lot of times, that's what happens. People have a salary, then they leave it, then they have to start from zero. But for you, you managed it very well. That
Yes, I
your,
did.
your,
Shows
your business
that,
was giving you
yeah.
more than you. That's awesome.
The word that you say is key, managing.
Managing,
It means that
yeah.
I was not using the resources for my organization, for my own gain.
Yeah.
You know,
You had a separate bank account, right?
Definitely.
You're not mixing
Different,
like
no.
finances, eh?
I was acting quite professionally from the word go.
That's good. Professionalism, structures.
Yeah.
Carol,
Yeah.
we already have somebody who has used your products and
Oh.
she says that they are magic
Oh,
on the skin.
amazing. Thank you.
So whatever you're doing is working. You just
Yeah,
need to keep
thank
it up. Do not fold up the business. People want
I
it.
won't,
So
yeah.
please, we need you to give a parting shot. Also,
Yeah.
people are asking for your contacts.
Yeah.
So give a parting shot and then
Yeah.
Emanuela will do the same and we'll wrap up the show.
Okay, yeah. So for any kind of engagement, you can reach us on social at Anova Naturals, both on Facebook and Instagram. If you want some furniture pieces, as I mentioned earlier, reach us on Facebook or Instagram at Customized Furniture. If you would want to speak us on phone, speak to us on phone, we have contacts on either of the pages. Parting shot, I would say, if you have an idea, just go. Don't over plan to begin. Don't over strategize. Okay, yes, you need to have those. Just don't overdo it. Start. You will get better as you go. Yes.
Excellent. That's a great killer of business.
Yeah.
Over analysis, and then you never. You
Yeah,
stuck at
you'll never
analysis.
begin. You'll never begin.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Keep
man.
inspiring the women around you.
Yeah, thank
You're doing
you.
a good job.
Thank you so
Emanuela,
much.
please give us a parting shot.
When you want to start a business, just start it. You know, there is no ideal time, there is no enough resources. You just start it off. But one of the things that you need to do when you start off a business is analyze where you are. So I'll give you an example. If you are in Europe or in America, look at the first 10 successful individuals. And you will realize that most of them have been successful because of their talents, because of their skills, and because of the market has many opportunities that they can develop. In Africa, it is very different. If you look at the 10 people, the 10 highest paid people, they are always people in power. Always people in power. So it's not about how good you are, but it is about who you know.
Yeah.
Okay? That is a reality about our market. So if you want to do the same thing that I did or as Carol did, starting off the ground and working without involving the government at any point in time, just know it is a very tedious journey, but it is so rewarding at the end. So don't give up, keep up, and let's see you at the top. If you want to reach us, our contact is 0722 8701 49, and we are on all social media platforms as Trans-Solution Services.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And you know what? When you get to the top, guess who you'll find there? Emanuela,
Absolutely.
Carol,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they'll be
thank
waiting
you.
for you, helping you get to the top. So yeah,
you.
get out there, women and men, and let's go into business, irrespective of the economic situations. There's a way that these ladies have not folded up. They're still making money. That's why they have not closed. So please get out there, start your business, get into a network. Women in Business is a networking platform. Let the stories of other women inspire you and empower you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.